Hi Anushka, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hello.
Would you introduce us about yourself and your educational background?
Yeah, so I'm Anushka. I'm currently in my second year pursuing political science from Lady Shri Ram College for Women, University of Delhi.
Where do you come from?
So I come from Delhi only and I've been here all my life.
Okay, so you did your entire schooling from Delhi itself.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you to choose Lady Shri Ram College for your undergrad?
So I was actually in a dilemma whether to go for Hindu or LSR, and then I talked to some people in LSR, and they told me the kind of culture there is. And secondly, I've always been in a co-ed school, and so I wanted to experience a women's only institution. So that's why I thought that why not.
तो कैसा impression था LSR का when you joined LSR first time?
सो एल एस आर का तो यही सुनने में आता है हमेशा कि लाइक एकदम टॉपर बच्चे हैं, पढ़ते रहते हैं, एंड इट्स लाइक अ वेरी इट्स ऑल्सो अ वेरी फेमिनिस्ट स्पेस, एंड कुछ तरीके से वो नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन में भी जाता है कि वो एल एस आर जाके लड़कियां फेमिनिस्ट हो जाती हैं और फिर वो लड़कों को कुछ नहीं समझती हैं, ये वो, एंड सो देयर वाज ऑल ऑफ दैट, बट आई थिंक I wanted to see for myself, and वहाँ पर जाके I realized that it's not just पढ़ाई करते रहते हैं बच्चे. There's a lot of cultural stuff happening, a lot of new things are happening all the time, and so it has again and again proved कि it was the right space for me.
Okay, तो
Yeah.
जब आपने कॉलेज ज्वाइन किया था, कॉलेज ज्वाइन करने से पहले was like LSR your dream college or was it like it happened accidentally?
आई थिंक ड्रीम कॉलेज जैसा तो नहीं था मेरा ऑनेस्टली कुछ भी, बट हाँ आई न्यू कि मुझे कुछ मतलब अच्छे से कॉलेज में जाना है, एंड बिकॉज आई वांटेड कि ऐसा कॉलेज हो जहाँ पर कुछ होता रह रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है कि लोग आके बस लाइक इट्स जस्ट लाइक अ डॉर्मेंट स्पेस, ऐसा नहीं है. तो दैट इज़ ऑल आई हैड, एंड देन आई सॉ ऐसे यूट्यूब पे कि अच्छा कॉलेज टूर्स और वो सब. सो या इट लाइक एल एस आर वॉज it is a very beautiful space also, so it was like कि हाँ this is a space I would like to go to.
जो आपने बात की ना कि एक परसेप्शन बना है कि LSR का, बट जब आप उस कॉलेज में जब आपने एंट्री की उस कॉलेज में अंडर ग्रेजुएशन के लिए, तो क्या वो नैरेटिव्स या वो जो प्रोफाइल करते हैं उस इंस्टीट्यूशन को, बिकॉज LSR हैज अ ग्रेट लेगेसी, तो क्या वो सच था या यू फाउंड इट ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट स्पेस?
सो देर्स बोथ ऑफ दीज एक्सपीरियंसेस. सो जैसे कि बोला जाता है कि फेमिनिस्ट है तो इट इज़ वेरी फेमिनिस्ट, एंड आई थिंक द आइडिया कि फेमिनिस्ट यूजिंग दैट एज अ डिस्पैरेजिंग टर्म इट सेल्फ इज़ प्रॉब्लमैटिक, एंड इट इज़ दैट रैडिकल. इट इज़ जो आप सोचते हो कि ओ फेमिनिस्ट हैं लड़कियां और ये पता नहीं क्या क्या कर रही हैं, रैडिकल बातें कर रही हैं, करती हैं वो रैडिकल बातें, व्हाट इज़ रॉन्ग विद दैट? सो that was like every day is a pleasant surprise उसमें, because you see ऐसे कॉरिडोर में बैठे हुए हैं लोग and they are talking about the most like liberating things and that you cannot find कहीं और भी. मतलब I have not had the kind of conversations कहीं भी और. So that was really good. And जो मतलब जो एक और एक्सपेक्टेशन रहता है कि LSR है, सो वहाँ पर लाइक एकदम बहुत ही ज़्यादा मतलब बहुत एकदम मोस्ट क्या कहें कि लाइक द बेस्ट मोस्ट क्वालिफाइड पीपल कम इन, एंड देर इज़ अ प्रेशर ऑल्सो ऑन यू टू अपहोल्ड दैट इज़ ऑल्सो देयर. सो लाइक पहले 6 months में आई हैड दिस काइंड ऑफ इम्पोस्टर सिंड्रोम कि मैं कहाँ आ गई हूँ, क्या क्या लोग करके आ गए हैं यहाँ पर. तो बट यू रियलाइज स्लोली कि सब लोग ही यही फेस कर रहे होते हैं, एंड इट्स लाइक your journey is not someone else's journey. So you learn from each other, and even now you feel like, I don't think that pressure ever goes away. Ki you keep comparing yourself, and there's this intense competition in everything, which is a problem also. But I think it does push you to be better. So yeah.
ठीक है, तो आपने बात की सो जब आप कॉलेजेस के लिए व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग फॉर द कॉलेजेस एक्चुअली व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस टू गेट इनटू एलएसआर अगर किसी को भी एलएसआर में एडमिशन लेना है somebody is dreaming to get into LSR उनको क्या करना चाहिए और क्या प्रोसेस है वहाँ पे पहुँचने का
So, so for me, it was like by CUET UG you have to give, and so the cutoff is quite high. I think it was 783 in my year, out of 800. But I do know that some pattern has changed now. So essentially, you put it on your preference list, and in my preference list, it was on the first rank only. So I got that. And yeah, I think the only way to get into whatever college you're dreaming of, be it LSR, Hindu, Miranda, whatever, it's the same thing, that you have to get a very high score in CUET UG. And for that, there is no better way than to just like make sure that your foundations of your NCRT are right. You keep practicing the PYQs. So yeah, there's like, in the few 4 or 5 months when you're preparing, it does feel a little meaningless, because you're like constantly going through the same books, and there is genuinely not a lot of independent thinking you can do with MCQs. So but then once, you just have to remember that once you get in, you can read whatever you want, you can discuss whatever you want. Just like these 5-6 months, you have to keep your head down and get through it.
Okay, so like after joining LSR, how was your life before joining LSR, and how did you transform it after getting into LSR?
Oh, I think after LSR, your entire personality identity changes a lot, because, like, when you're in school, first of all, I like being from a private school. There was a very limited like socially background जो आता है बहुत ही कम होता है. But when you get into any DU college, you have a lot of people. You have people coming from every part of the country, from every background, and you realize the kind of privilege you've been living in, the kind of bubble you've been living in, and that bursts. And that is earth shattering for some time. But after that, like, it's just very liberating, because then you go home and then you get to tell these people, your relatives, ki oh, ye bhi ho sakta hai, aisa bhi ho sakta hai. And it was very shocking to me that when your teachers, like in LSR, there's the way of teaching is very interesting, that you just don't do the essential readings. Your teacher also tells you that if you're interested, you can go ahead and read these original readings, something that I have found out that people in masters read. So like,
That's true.
you go ahead and you read John Rawls in the actual text. That's, you'll understand like 20% of it, but at least you have read it, at least you have gone through that effort. So it goes like, the way we look at academics changes, and the kind of activities that are happening there, like I would never imagine me in a film society, for instance. I would never imagine me
So you were there in the film society?
yeah.
Amazing.
So you find out things about yourself that you didn't even know, like your interests expand, and it's okay to feel confused, it's okay to go into 500 different directions, because that's what college life is about. So I think your identity changes a lot, and that, I think, at this stage when my second year's done now, it does like impact you a little bit, that what is life outside LSR, what are you outside of that LSR tag. And it, like, there's a kind of identity crisis also. But for that, I think you should always have something outside of the college also, because the college is also, at the end of the day, just a space. It's also a safe space you inhabit, and outside is another world also.
Sure.
So yeah.
तो उसके लिए आपने क्या किया like you have been in the college for last 2 years now. You have lived all these experiences now. It has made you brave in so many ways. Your canvas and your periscope has changed. Now when you look beyond the frontiers of LSR, like what are some of the key challenges that you face, or you feel कि okay ये ऐसे challenges है जो मुझे भी face करने पड़ेंगे?
So one thing is that in LSR mostly everyone is very supportive. Like everyone I've encountered is like willing to listen to you, willing to listen to your story, willing to listen to your views, and willing to put in the effort. But once you like, I've been into like internships and whatever, or there are spaces they really hope to just get the work done, and they they don't really care that much about critical thought, which comes as a shock. But you have to brace yourself for that, and I think LSR also makes you want to demand better things from life, that you realize that this space is really not for you. Like if they don't really care about your own expertise, your critical thinking, then maybe that space is not for you. And so that has like standards बढ़ा देता है LSR life से ही. So that's a little challenging also, but I think I would rather live a life that is that is made for me than like just like कि ठीक है, let's leave it be and करके चलते हैं आगे. So that is one thing, that you don't settle for mediocrity. So then the second thing is, I think LSR also has a lot of structure, that the professors genuinely care about what they teach you, which is when I talk to other people from DU, they're like कि oh इतना effort डाल रहे हैं तुम्हारे यहाँ, like actually में they read your research papers. That comes as a shock to them sometimes. And I'm not saying that it only happens in LSR, probably happens in other colleges also, but like in LSR that is true, that at least in my department that teachers do care about what you're doing if you go and tell them at least. So that you have to break from that mindset कि हर कोई ऐसा होगा वहाँ जाके, like हर कोई ऐसा नहीं होगा बाहर जाके. But you have to imbibe that confidence in yourself, that you at least you are interested in your life enough to like put the work in and put the genuineness in, even if it doesn't like it doesn't automatically give you the rewards. At least you will know in your heart that you put the right effort. So there's that.
Take us through a normal day in LSR. Like how's a normal day in an LSR in a student's life?
I don't think any day is a normal day in LSR because there's just so much happening. Like at least most, like of course the exam season is a little quiet, but apart from that there's a lot happening all the time. So
first year, sorry to interrupt you, जब आप
Yeah.
first year में गए, तो how was your life in the first year? Was it very overwhelming? Was it stressful? तो कैसा था? And then like
okay, so I think first year में तो it was very stressful. Like the first month was just a blur कि क्या हो रहा है, नहीं समझ आ रहा है कुछ भी, because first of all I travel a lot. Like I travel 1.5 hours to reach, so that takes like a toll on you. But and then the 8:45 a.m. classes, they always happen. They without fail they happen. Like कि सर कभी तो कैंसिल कर दिया करो, नहीं 8:45 होगी ही होगी.
8:45 क्लास होते हैं?
हाँ, we have 8:45 classes. Sometimes it's like 8:45 to 4:30 also, but there are breaks in between. So the first year was like when you get in, everything is happening. Like the society auditions are happening, team auditions are happening, everything is happening. Your professors are telling you that oh there's no such thing as a textbook, you have to go in and you have to purchase readings and you read what you want to read and all that. That's not NCERT वाला चीज़ तो नहीं है अब. So it comes as a shock to you कि okay how will I manage this, and you see all these brilliant people and it feels like they've got it all figured out except for you, but it's just a feeling. So the first month you just go in, you attend your classes. There are a lot of orientations happening to anyone who wants to like get into that college experience. I'd say attend most of it. Like even if you don't want to join that society, go ahead and attend it. You might find your people there, and you get to learn a lot. and the first month especially you feel like you've like done a lot of, like, you've wasted a lot of time, but it's okay because you're figuring things out. So you just go, it's very tiring in the first month. You go home and then you can't, you don't, you're so tired that you don't even want to eat, but uh you get used to it in some time. So yeah.
ओके, तो फिर ये लाइक पहले महीने में ये सब चीज़ें होती हैं एंड देन यू स्टार्ट टू एक्सप्लोर डिफरेंट सोसाइटीज़। एलएसआर के बारे में कहा जाता है कि काफ़ी डाइवर्स और काफ़ी वाइब्रेंट सोसाइटीज़ है वहाँ पे। टेक अस थ्रू दैट कि किस टाइप की सोसाइटीज़ है वहाँ पे, बिकॉज आई माई सेल्फ हैव गॉन टू दैट प्लेस 2-3 times I have been to that place and every time it has fascinated me. The kind of the pedagogy जो वहाँ पे पढ़ाई जाती है, the kind of the professors who are teaching their students, activism जो वहाँ पे, that is next level. So it has personally fascinated me, and most of my classmates have also come from LSR. I've been in, I'm from JNU. So take us through the societies. How are the societies there, and how do those societies shape you as an individual and also as collective?
Okay, so there's a society for like almost everything. So there's dance society and music society, theater is there, all of that is there. I am personally in the film photography society, and I'm also in some department teams, and I'm also in the queer collective. So essentially in the
कोई भी बंदा कोई भी sorry
हाँ, yeah.
इनको ज्वाइन कर सकता है। Okay.
हाँ, so there are a lot of forms that come in, and then you fill those forms, and mostly they make sure that you at least get interviewed. So because everyone understands it, that not everyone can be judged only on the basis of a Google form. So there's not a lot of faculty ka interference in the societies mostly, but there are these presidents and these team heads who are from your seniors only, and they interview you, and they try to understand firstly your time commitments, because in the first year you want to get into everything, you want to join everything. So there's that. And then one thing I like about it is they don't really mind if you don't have a lot of past experience. So I was in the film society, right? I had not gotten into anything from my school, and there was no such thing as film society in my school. So I did not have that kind of experience. What they were interested in is what kind of ideas I had. So because they also realize that everyone comes from different backgrounds, and if you privilege a past experience, you'll only get these elite people, and so there's no point in that. So there's that.
From that perspective, it's very inclusive.
Yeah, it's very inclusive mostly. And then after that it does get hectic, because there are meetings that you have to attend to. There'll be stuff that you wouldn't want to do, like social media. I'm personally not that interested in, but you have to do it because that's part of the job. So there's good things and bad things about it. And then I think in the societies there's a lot of work ethic. Like, I did not expect itna zyada. They'd be so committed to making sure that they put in meaningful stuff, they put in meaningful events. And so I was just like, yaar, kar do pehle to aisa. But then I realized ki there's no point in doing aisa aadha adhura kaam. So there's that. Once you get used to a little bit of the workload, you understand the people around you, and then you get to talk to them. So I have a lot of friends from the film society, and it also depends on the society. So some societies are thoda sa, some people say that they are toxic and whatever. To feel that, you can always exit. So there's that. And I think the societies do shape.
Societies में आपने क्या सीखा personal level?
I think a lot. I'm mostly interested in script writing. So I did not know ऐसा कोई format भी होता है script writing का. And I just wrote something. And then I showed it to the people there. And they were like, ये तो बहुत अच्छा है, ये तो अच्छा, तुमने ऐसा भी सोचा, ये वो. And then I became the script editor of their magazine also. And it was just because my mindset was that I'm going there to learned script writing, but I ended up taking a leadership position there.
That's amazing.
So that was very interesting. We also had Tarang exhibition. So Tarang is our annual festival, and we have our exhibitions there. So for 2 days, you're just lying there on the exhibition floor and making a lot of things, and so it's so tiring, but it is like a good kind of tiring, and you build a lot of friendships there. You build a lot of camaraderie there. So yeah.
People generally think that humanities have no career option.
Yeah.
Do you agree with this statement?
Not at all. I think humanities there's a lot of scope. Like in after humanities, you can do basically anything, because you just learn how to think, you just learn how to write, and you can do anything. So apart from the like conventional option of civil services, or any government exam, there is, you can get into academic research. You can also get into policy research. So policy research is a field that is booming, especially right now, where you can get into either legislative research, wherein you help MP do any research on their topic. So whatever questions are being asked in the parliament, they're not being framed by the MP, they're being framed by their well-researched team. So you can get into that. You can also get into any policy think tank. They're also pitching for better policies in the government. You can get into social sector. You can get into NGOs. You can also get into journalism. You can get into any creative profession also, obviously, like you can any like filmmaking or whatever creative pursuits you want to do.
Screenwriting.
Yeah, screenwriting. And it's, I think आपको बहुत ज़्यादा space मिलता है to like think in that direction. So there is that. What else? I think apart from the, like, I'm only listing the unconventional options, because you can become a lawyer or you can become a journalist, but there are all these other options. You can get into content writing, and you can also like get into so for instance, there's a research का अलग से profession in the corporate sector also, because there, if they want to set up any industry, they would want someone who understands government relations, especially considering the international climate today. They would want someone who understands the geopolitical realities. So in my first year, I had an internship where I did exactly that. I understood how the West Asia crisis is going to impact the industry. So that is what people are interested in. And like so you have a lot of, I don't understand where that misconception even comes from, that you become unemployed after you get into humanities. Of course, you have to struggle a little more, because the path isn't as linear as you would see in an engineering course or any science course. But अब तो AI इतना ज़्यादा आ गया है, so every job field is being threatened by AI. So if you have to like take a field, why not choose something जो आपको passion, जिसमें आप passionate हो. अगर AI ही आ रहा है तो